Monty, and tonight's street takeovers.
Reckless daredevils behind the wheel.
Street takeovers, dangerous drivers shutting down intersections,
closing down the intersection for others to do donuts in the middle of the street.
Street racing and parking lot mayhem.
I think it's more about kind of being away from society in a way, kind of like not being with like the norm, kind of, you know, you're like kind of different, you know, because I mean, you can build a car 1,000 different ways. The point is that, you know, being able to do what you want to do and being different from everyone else on the road, that's like the important part. You know, you think it's like real cheap and stuff, but you got a lot of things that you're paying for. You got life going on too, so you're paying for things. It was kind of rough for me because like I had to work a lot in high school. Like I just worked at a, you know, a dealership, like right after school, book it to work, you know. That's probably the hardest part.
So, what is a park and chill?
A park and chill. It's just a car meet where you park and chill. Like you don't really do stupid shit. It's kind of everyone kind of actually sits down and talks about their cars and gives a shit rather than just tearing up the street and being, you know, kind of idiot, you know. I like park and chills because you can kind of relax, talk to your friends, not worry about cops showing up and destroying it because, you know, people leave and sometimes they'll do some crazy shit, but for the majority you're just kind of relaxing and talking to your friends and learning about the cars.
Alright, so what is drifting?
Drifting, you're basically constantly sliding while keeping grip up front but rear wheel spinning, kind of. And there's different forms of drifting. You have kind of the more westernized like style of drifting where you use a lot of like handbrake or hydro, whatever setup you're running, and you're kind of using the front wheels with a lot of grip to steer while your rear end kind of, you have less grippy tires. Some people do that. The Japanese way of drifting is actually steering with the rear wheels. You run a grippier tire setup to put power to the ground to actually move the car. Like, yeah, you have to have grip up front regardless, but they kind of just don't lift off the gas. They kind of stay on, so they keep up the wheel speed and velocity to just keep going. So, yeah.
And that is a vehicle street takeovers that we've all seen on the news, where you have these individuals, some young, some not so young, that think that it's okay to engage in criminal activity. It's actually very dangerous activity, and they take over intersections, they take over freeways, and quite frankly, what they're doing is engaging in deadly conduct. And once again, what they need to understand is that the law considers this engaging in organized criminal activity.
All right. So, what is a takeover, and do you support them?
Takeover, I guess the way that I've seen is just, you know, not specifically intersections, but it could be really anywhere, but mainly street. Yeah, I don't really agree with it just because it kind of ruins the car community. You know, you would think a street drifter wouldn't care too much, but kind of does, because it kind of, when people see you, you're like, oh, they're just one of them. Yeah, and kind of ruining things with police. Like, police were kind of cool with the drifting, you know, they'd come up. Some of them would be don't get me wrong, there's ones that are probably gonna arrest you sometimes. But most of the time, as long as you stay cool with them and you're not a complete imbecile and you're just kind of chilling, they're not gonna mess with you. They're just gonna be like, you know, get out of here, do something else.
Would you encourage other people to get into car culture?
Would I? Yes, 100%. Because it's like something to keep you going, you know what I mean? Like when you're going to school, work, whatever you're doing, you know? Like you're like, okay, you know, I'm grinding so I can, you know, get this car how I want it to. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like, I think it's a great hobby because you learn not only to work on your car, you know, not like that aside, like it's just something to keep you going all the time that you're always thinking about, like, you know, I'm constantly saving money for a car that makes me happy. And that's like the bottom line to all of it is, you know?